stand on the edge of a new tomorrow, a brighter future, a secure future for one and all.
Nothing is secure within the reality of torment. In the darkest part of your mind, there is untold
Means to an end. Means to an end.
Hey guys, 10.752 here, back again with the build guide. You saw the showcase, now let's get to the build. I'm gonna go over the gear, skills, the skill tree, maybe the flasks, of course the flasks, and the Pantheon. Okay, let's start with the gear. So first things first, the damage from the wand. So we get a shit ton of damage from here. As you can see, physical is extra chaos, Void Sphere is physical, this gives us physical is extra chaos, and it also gets converted from the Void Sphere 40%, so that's like most of it is going to be chaos damage, as you can see. Okay, then we get explosions from this wand, very important. You want to have this explosion to clear the screen. And then of course implicit area of effect, much better than the spell damage. Area of effect is scarce, so we want to get that. Next thing is, very important item, must have for the build, Devouring Diadem. It makes sure that we don't use mana, we use energy shield. As you can see, everything that I cast is going to be using our energy shield instead of mana. Okay, next thing, that it provides is a lot of reservation efficiency by itself, and the implicit also gives us reservation. So we naturally place all of our auras inside. We don't even need enlighten, and as you can see, our mana hits precisely 0, which means we can still play the character and have all of these auras. Another thing that gives us reservation efficiency is the amulet, which gives 10%. It needs to be 10%. As you can see, it's very tight, so very important. If you don't have this implicit though, it's probably going to be expensive. You can go here, and you can take these 3 nodes, so this, and this, and it's going to substitute the implicit. So, that's that. The Veiled modifier here, ideally you want the AoE gems, just because of the area of effect. As I said, very scarce. You want to have that area of effect if possible. Okay, so the amulet, anointed aspect of the stone. So this is evasion block character, evasion dodge block character. So you want to have as much avoidance of damage as possible. That's why we anoint aspect of the stone. 20% chance to avoid physical damage from hits. Then the amulet itself gives us +3 level of all void sphere gems, which is very important. All ally res, which we're gonna need. Reservation efficiency, and last but not least, attribute requirements are reduced, which is very nice because our obliteration wand requires a big 200 intelligence. As you can see, even I don't have it, 190, so this kind of helps. Okay, next thing is the shield. Evasion shield Val Buckler I would recommend because it has the highest base block chance. I bought this one, it had 46, as that's the amount that you need of block. It of course had a lot of spell suppression as well for our spell dodge. The next important stat is dexterity, and finally, last but not least, maximum life. I would say all of these other stats are more important than the life itself, because we are avoiding most of the hits anyway, but of course it's good to have life. I also crafted some cast speed, because why the hell not? As you can see, when we cast, you know, it takes a bit, you know, we cast it. So, cast speed helps. We also get some of the passive skill tree up here, some cast speed, cast speed, cast speed, cast speed, but that's about it, how much we get. Next thing is this ring, Mink's Heart, gives a lot of damage. I think this is like a third of our damage, because 72% of physical damage is given as extra chaos damage. So, a shit ton of damage. Use Noxious Catalyst to improve it, and try to get the perfect stats for the chaos res, and the physical damage is extra chaos damage. Okay. The other ring is similar, but here we need some attributes as well, because we're using a lot of attributes in this build. As you can see, all of our rares don't really have resistances. We get resistances to our purity of elements, unique items, and the skill tree actually, but we are collecting attributes on our rare items. So, intelligence, strength. I took the fracture intelligence and then just crafted it with the essence of dread for chaos damage. So you just spam it until you hit something like strength, max life. And I was happy with this. I didn't care about the cold damage to attacks. I just crafted some damage on top of it and good to go. Very good ring. Next we have the boots. March of the Legion, very important because this is how we use Malevolence actually. As you saw at the start of the video, I cast my Malevolence and it lasts for like 16 seconds. And this is because of this. You can only get Divine Blessing through these boots in the game. Before you could get it as a support gem. You can no longer do that, so we use these boots. And it also gives us +5 levels to our Malevolence, as you can see here. I should have bought it level 21, but whatever. So we get +5 here, and we just cast it because we have a shit ton of energy shield, and we can just cast it like this. You know, it costs a lot, but we don't care. So that's good. And it needs to be separate, by the way. You don't want it. You don't want the supports to be tied to it, because then the cost increases. Okay, no need to support it with anything. Next one is Court Belt. We anoint Whispers of Doom here, because we have Aspect of Stones here. Whispers of Doom, why? Because we cast Despair and Temporal Chains. We manually cast it, so it lasts super long. Why? Because we link it with more duration and Hex Bloom. Hex Bloom is really good, because then you just cast it once on, you know, a pack filled with monsters, and it's going to spread, and it's going to last for 24 seconds. And you just clear the map, and all of them are going to be basically cursed. And you just throw your ball around, and it's very good. So Despair, Temp Chains link to Hex Bloom, and more duration. That's good. The gloves themselves, they give spell suppression, and again, attributes, dexterity, intelligence, some life, evasion, all the goodies that we need. On the belt, what I forgot to mention, very important stat, is here the tier 1 flask effect duration. Alternative to this, you can get flask charges gained, but they need to be tier 1 modifiers. Why? Because you see the flasks expire, boom, instantly reapplied. Like there was like a half a second downtime. So if this is going to be like tier 2, tier 3 modifier, the downtime is going to be longer. So you want to have them tier 1 modifiers, either flask effect duration or charges gain. As you can see, ends, reapplies instantly. Lasts for 15 seconds. So most, it's basically permanent, right? That's, oh yeah, and the last, but of course not least, the chess piece, what you need. This is basically an 8 link, I would say, because it has chance to poison, which gives us the chance to poison. It gives us chaos damage to the skill, very important. And then we also get damage with poison and duration with poison. I would consider this like an 8 link. And then of course I got really good implicit modifiers here. I got level of socketed duration gems and +1 level of socketed gems. This is like the perfect that you can get, but you can go +2/+2, like AoE is fine instead of socketed gems. But why +1 level of socketed gems is better? Because it applies to Empower as well. Because Empower gets 1 extra level, so does Void Sphere get 1 extra level, right? So it's basically +2 to Void Sphere, but it also improves your support gems. Yeah, but +2/+2 is absolutely fine as well. Okay, so this one is, yeah, best in slot, Dendrobate, take that. Skill gems, I already went through some of them. Withering Step, very important, needs to be level 21 for 10 Wither debuffs, and then Enhance here to grant even more Wither debuffs. This needs to be level 4 actually, so you can get like 11 Wither debuffs, is really good. More duration, so it lasts longer, because it lasts very short without it. Yeah, it's like 4 seconds, with this is 6 seconds. Very important. So you just activate it, you touch a monster, and for 6 seconds they're withered with 11 stacks immediately. That's very good. The Aura's Hero Purity, just damage, purity of elements, resistances, ailment immunity. This is how we get ailment immunity. So we don't need to worry about shock, ignite, and freeze, chill. Completely immune. A lot of resistances as well. Herald of Agony, a large amount of damage, and our poison, chance to poison, grace, a lot of evasion, dodgy character. Shield charge, attack speed, calming strike. Self-explanatory. Steel skin we talked about, it's our protection. Malevolence we talked about, and the Void Sphere of course is linked to Empower. They should be Empower level 4, I got level 3, whatever. Void Sphere of Rending should be either 2120 or you need to imbue it with AoE. That's the only imbue that's good. Everything else is ass. Like you can get faster casting, but I don't think it's better than a level 21 gem. So AoE is best in slot, second best is 21. I have 2120, that's fine. Unbound ailments, deadly ailments, efficacy, void manipulation. Flasks, immunity to corrupting blood, life flask, self-explanatory. We need a quartz flask, granite flask, quicksilver flask, jade flask. Okay, so these 4. One of them, it doesn't matter which ones, you don't need to have like these, you see the modifiers, the blue ones on the bottom, like reduced effect of curses, it doesn't need to be on this one specifically. But you need to have all 4 of these that I'm going to name. So, reduced effect of curses you need, increased evasion, increased armor, and additional elemental resistances. As I said, we're not getting any elemental resistances or on rare gear, we're getting it on the flask, some uniques, like here, like here, like here, and on the passive tree. And of course, you want to make them quality 26, so they last long. So we can have a permanent uptime. Yeah, so as you can see, 27, 28, 26. Good. Use when charges reach full, so you don't need to worry about clicking them ever again. The passive tree, let's go over that real quick. Lady Shade for any ground effects or poison or bleed effects. This is going to reduce it by 50%. We get also less damage taken over time from this. So this is for the dots. If you eventually get hit, Wind Dancer is going to take care of it. 20% less damage taken. Of course we're using acrobatics, dodge spells, and a shit ton of block that we get here. So block chance from here. Versatile combatant to get the spell block, and then we just get some life, poison damage, and then spell suppression, poison damage, life, spell suppression, life, poison damage, flask duration, poison damage, spell suppression, as you can see. It's very simple, basic tree. And the tattoos, you want to have flask effect duration as much as possible, however much you can squeeze. And make sure that your strength is 300 because of the dendrobate requirement. So 300 and 150 intelligence, you see, for the requirements. You must not go below that, remember that. Jewels, Light of Meaning, chaos damage to all of the skills that we chose here, so you see this. Chaos damage, chaos damage, chaos damage. All of this gives me now chaos damage because of this. It's very good. Watcher's Eye, Grace and Malevolence, so evade attacks with Grace, this is important. Try to get 8% if you can get the Malevolence damage over time multis. Super good. I got the Purity of Elements. This one was super cheap, I don't know why. But yeah, I got all that I needed there. The last jewels are just going to be rare jewels. They're going to give you some life, damage over time, block, again, block, life, damage over time, and reduce the effect of curses, which makes me immune to curses with my flask. We're a Pathfinder, so a lot of poison damage, withered, less chargers. That's it. Okay, and the Pantheon, last but not least, Lunaris, Soul of Lunaris. You take it to avoid even more damage, so 10% chance to avoid projectiles, and avoid projectiles that have chained. This is very important because we're using Herald of Purity. There's going to be 4 summoned Sentinels of Purity occasionally, and you're going to be running maps where they shoot projectiles that chain. You want to avoid all of those projectiles. So, it's going to cancel some of your deaths. Very good, gives you some physical damage reduction as well. This one, take this one if you don't have a jewel or a flask with the corrupting blood, bleeding immunity. Very good. But if you have that covered, then just go for this one. Cannot be maimed. I'm gonna go for this next when I get the jewel with implicit, so I don't get maimed. I also have you cannot be hindered on this jewel, so no hindered, no maim. It's gonna be very good. That's it. Thank you for watching the guide. I'll see you in the next video. It's gonna be a new fun build that I'm gonna be leveling very soon. See ya. Peace.